4 p.m., folks. I would like to call to order the special city council meeting of February 24th, 2026, at exactly 4 p.m. Madam Clerk, will you have a roll call, please?
Councilman Werner.
Here.
Councilman Gleason.
Present.
Councilwoman Leonard. Vice Mayor Langowski. Mayor O'Connor. We have a quorum.
Please stand. Vice Mayor Langowski, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated. Any additions, deletions, modifications? Agenda, if not, motion please.
Move approval of the agenda as presented.
We have a motion by Councilman Werner, second by Councilman Gleason. Roll call. Councilman Werner.
Yes.
Councilman Gleason.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard. Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
This section of the agenda allows for comments from the public to speak, and speaker will be given public 8 minutes to comments. The public comment card should be completed and returned to the city clerk when you're called to speak. Please go to the podium and prior to addressing the council, state your name and address for the record. All public comments will be noted and may receive a response if necessary. Any comment will be handled staff at their time. Madam Clerk, do you have any public comment?
Mayor, I do not have any public comment cards at this time.
I'm gonna give PBSO a free pass, considering this is a special meeting and we're tight on time. You don't have to do them today. You have the same regular council meeting, all right? Okay, wonderful. Good to know. All right. Okay, moving forward. We have before us review of city manager candidates and selection of finalists. The purpose of the discussion is focused on narrowing the candidate pool based on qualifications, leadership, experience, and alignment with city manager role requirements previously discussed during the recruitment process and identified in the published job description of the city. I want to note the council has conducted one-on-one interviews with each and every candidate. Let's begin. Let's identify our top 3. And should we have a motion of our top 3? City Attorney,
Mayor, if I may first just explain,
please.
before you, would you please note that we received an email this morning from Ramsey Buckley, and he has resigned from
Yes, I was going to mention, we accepted a position and it's taken to in-house consideration. All right, so I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and I'm going to talk last. I want to know where everybody's thoughts are. I'd like to know what everybody's top 3 choices are. Does not have to be done via secret ballot. We can just really discuss. What we're attempting to do today is at the very least narrow down to 3 choices. But, you know, who knows? Maybe by some miracle, we all have the same top choice and we can, I do absolutely need to have a backup as well. You know, we never know what's going to happen during contract negotiations. So if we can identify our top 3 choices, that would be great. Anybody who wants to go first? Go for it. I'll be sharing my thoughts.
I will go first.
What do you got for us, Councilwoman Leonard?
Beyonce Campbell, Howard Brown, and Michael Jackson.
Any report?
No, I just, no.
Does anybody, you don't like one any better than the other 2?
I have to go back through my notes for that, but those are just some of my little.
Okay. Stand by. Who would like to go next? Choose.
Here.
Thank you.
Similar, I had Beyond Great as my first choice. Howard is my second choice, and then my third choice would have been at this point.
Just stand by for one moment. Back to Leonard. Leonard, you were getting priority to either of those three? Sorry, if I have a yes.
Okay, let me look at my little.
It's just-
So the priority, my top two, DeAndre Campbell, one, Howard Brown, two, and the third would be Michael Jackson.
Yeah, we started catching up. Lisa. I had DeAndre was one. Who would like to go next?
I had, I had, was a four, but, DeAndre Campbell,
Is that number one?
I'm putting him in Howard Brown, it looks like DeAndre number one. And then second, Howard Brown, and then I had Ramsey Buckley as my third. He's now withdrawn, so. I also liked, Peggy Stumble as well.
Okay. Your three, Peggy.
Yes.
That leaves you. With the winner, Councilman Warner.
At the end of this meeting, we're gonna have three candidates, I take it, that will come for a public interview. For
No,
public discussion.
not necessarily.
Well, that's what we discussed, I believe, in the past. We did say at one of our previous meetings, that the candidates would be present and they would have an opportunity to speak.
I think what we're doing now is narrowing down choices with the short list.
Right.
That's a priority. What happens next will be the will of this council.
Okay,
So
okay, my understanding is we're gonna end up with three candidates.
we're gonna decide what we're gonna do. We can do whatever we want. Regarding council,
Mayor, based on previous discussions, we discussed having three candidates at the public meeting. And that's where I'm expecting.
right now, we're narrowing down this.
Okay, my choices would be Mark Cogney,
That's your number one.
that's the first one I mentioned, Howard Brown, and Zoe Burgess.
Do you have these ready?
Like I said earlier, my expectation is that we're gonna come up with three. And then we're gonna make a decision after
No,
that.
no particular order. You are, will be your choices?
Mark Putney, Mark Brown, and Zoe, Howard Brown, and Zoe Burgess.
So. Madam Interim City Clerk, would you like to comment?
First, I'm honored that I would even be considered. But again, as I mentioned previously in the past, I'm not interested in having the position full term, but I thank you for the consideration.
Considering that Ms. Burgess is not interested in the position, would you like to put forward a?
Yes, Peggy Castano.
Okay. And so would you like to write the name of the voice?
Are we all ranking them? Is that what it is?
So far, everyone has read,
Um,
at least they're number one.
I would say Howard Brown, Mark Putney, and then Peggy Castano.
All right, so my three, which is pretty impressive because there's a consistency here in order, was DeAndre Brown and it was Buckley. Taking Buckley out of consideration, I was very, very impressed by Peggy Stein. In fact, I think that if one day there's a deputy city manager role, she would be the absolute right person for that position. She wasn't my first choice. I think it would be too much of an undertaking for the entire, for the big job. But if there was a number two position.
You're right.
So for me, it's DeAndre Campbell. It's Howard Brown. And number three, I'm gonna put Ben's name down. I was highly impressed by that. And that's considering that Mr. Rams about the rules. He did call me. So there is a consistent trend here. 4 out of 5 of us have DeAndre Brown as number 1. I mean, DeAndre Campbell is number 1. And Mr. Howard Brown is number 2. Mr. City Attorney, what are your thoughts?
You can entertain a motion. You can either do it one by one. You can do the top 2 and debate the third, or you can do all 3 of them kind of substitute the nature of the motion.
And what, I mean, there seems to be a trend. We all really like DeAndre. Well, super majority. Like DeAndre is number 1. And Mr. Howard Brown is number 2. Is there any legal reason why we have to bring 3 people into the interview?
No, sir. That's what you reference. You're picking your findings. It could be 2, it could be 3.
I mean, in my opinion, I think it would be a service to the third person. Because we're all pretty much in agreement with this. I think my view is have anybody. Just. That being said, let's open up the discussion. What do you guys want to do in terms of, you want to do in-person interview? You want to do round of in-person interviews? You want to just lock it in as DeAndre gets the job pending contract negotiations? What are your thoughts?
I would suggest we bring the top 2 in and have a public discussion at a regular meeting, which is what we discussed in the past.
I would be fine hearing it from them again, give them each, 5 minutes to do a little presentation in front of us, and I'm fine with that.
As long as it's not going to, can we still get it on the agenda for?
Yes.
We just don't know, we just don't know. So,
I kind of want the job.
Just for them to introduce themselves to the city or just a little bit about themselves, just so I'm clear on.
My understanding was it was going to be some type of formal question that they each were given the same question and be able to answer it in front of the public. Not the one we already asked, but maybe a new set of 2 or 3 questions.
We can do it. So what we decide now is what's in the best interest of the city and what's in the best interest.
Well, I think
We literally write the script any way we want to. We decide what happens.
I think it's important for the residents to see who we're choosing and why before we choose. So I would like to hear from you more time.
So I mean, that already appears to be consensus. So we have consensus that we're going to bring in the top 2 choices.
So do you want me to make a motion on the top 2?
Yes, I'd like to a motion for not only the top 2 choices, but that we're going to invite them to our next meeting, where we'll ask some questions for the benefit of the public, get a feel for who we are hiring as our next city manager, pending contract negotiations. That was a whole other step. But at least we'll have a feel of the job. For 2 people.
Well, you also said earlier, backup, because contract negotiations may not,
That's what I'm thinking too.
well, that,
Not hiring.
let's say the 2 strike out on their point. Are we going to then refer back to the remaining list, or do we go out again?
I think we start. In the middle, what's done after my top two, it's like I said, as much as I like, is Castano, I wouldn't feel comfortable with her as the city manager, so I'm hoping that we can hire number one and number two. Please,
Blackburn. Ms. Blackburn, in your experience in the past, generally, if we have top two, it's not normal that the third or second person could drop out, right?
if you could state your name.
Russ Blackburn, senior advisor. I think if you move fast, that would be most important. Because we've seen as time's going on now, you've had two of your better candidates already dropped out. So you're going to stick with two, which makes sense because you had a good consensus on those two. You're moving reasonably fast before something else comes up on one of those, then you should be good. If you find that your candidate you were all kind of leaning toward doesn't show well in their interview, not real comfortable with number two, you don't have to choose either of those. You could go back to the list, or you could reject them all and start over.
I mean, I'm highly confident in number one and two, as I've stated very clearly. Number three, I was incredibly testified. One day we'll be a deputies. Okay, so I'd like to open the motion. And then, I'll wait till that meeting and we can like discuss some of the accomplishments. Also, I'm sure the public will be listening within the rest of this meeting.
What do you think?
I'm not sure. I've done a lot of words. I move that the city of Westlake council move forward with the two candidates, DeAndre Campbell and Howard Brown, for consideration for city manager position, asking that they come back for a final interview at our next council meeting. And March 3rd, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Leonard, second by Councilman Werner. Roll call. Councilman Gleason.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
Yep.
Motion carries 5-0.
Sure.
Are we coming up with questions or is it the attorney who's acquisition manager?
You. So, we all, city clerk.
One second. Go ahead.
So I sort of set the table for you all.
Please do so.
Keep in mind, you're hiring an individual as an independent contractor. So I'm going to prepare a professional services agreement. I'll provide you a copy with a template. And I think I'll give top two candidates a copy as well.
Okay.
So there's expectations of the uniqueness of this position related to Westlake. I don't know what you all discussed, and I'll have conversations with you independently. If you discuss compensation, because now that's key.
Okay.
And what I'd like to do is make sure that we do our homework, if you will, prior to the March 3rd meeting.
Great.
So that no one's caught off guard. And you're not negotiating at that meeting.
So the rotation will happen afterwards.
Correct. But I think it's in the city's best interest to let the candidates be fully advised as your expectations and the parameters of their employment.
Of course.
Because it's going to be an all-inclusive salary. We're not providing benefits. We're not providing insurance. Not, but certain things will be included in the contract, so I'll give you a copy. If you all wish to talk to the candidates prior to March 3rd, I would encourage you to do so. Get a feel. Don't independently negotiate and share your expectations with them, maybe in greater detail than you did initially. They've had a chance to reflect on the position. They're now a serious candidate. And things get serious at this point.
Being that we can't talk to each other, I'm gonna rely on the city attorney and the staff to really communicate with us individually.
Correct.
Harris.
And just so you know, I'm not gonna be passing on information.
Correct.
That's not, what I'm doing is highlighting points that you should focus on. And if we have, now if a candidate says, I can't do that, I'd like to know before I'm served.
Yeah. good point.
Okay.
Now, do we need to submit questions to the city clerk, or do we just come in and have questions?
Well, what, respect to what type of questions are you thinking that you haven't asked already or you can't do privately?
I was more than interested to hear them give a pretty positive speech.
Well, then you can do.
Correct. And I feel like I know so much why I chose my number one, why I have number two, but I want the public to know why. You know, I want them to hear some of the appropriation successes that candidate has had in the city that it came from, and some of the similarities between our city and that city and things of that nature.
Yes,
I think if the public hears, they'll be just as reaffirmed and excited about the decision as I am.
yes, you want your constituents to share your confidence.
Correct. So we just have those kind of questions geared up early that day, or we want to feed them to you.
I don't know, I mean, all I'm suggesting is I don't think if you're gonna give them a 5-minute presentation, you don't want to cross-examine them.
Right. So we really don't even have.
If you have issues, then you can say, your interview with me that was very good, but I still have a question. You help me answer.
So maybe we individually speak to the
That's
candidates
what I
at
said.
a time,
That's
so that, you know, they know to include in their little introduction. And we'll elevate it.
what's your interest?
Okay,
You want to reaffirm your selection.
understood. Everybody get that?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent.
Tell them to leave it in their speech.
Is that, yeah, a little, pitch, a little like on Shark Tank here.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Mayor, just for clarification, so I just want to make sure for staff understanding, we're going to invite them back for March 3rd, that's next Tuesday.
Yep.
And council will be reaching out to them individually.
Right.
So, thank you so much.
Everybody understand the homework?
Yeah.
All right.
Did we vote on that motion?
That was her.
That's
So we
okay.
did a second, but we didn't vote.
That's
We
okay.
carried the motion.
So we have a motion and a
Or did
second.
you?
Yeah,
We did.
Okay.
We have a motion, a second. and a-
okay.
So we have our, the business being concluded. Let's move forward with council comments. Councilwoman Levin.
I think it was a great experience. And I want to thank Naomi and both that for getting us so prepared for that 8-hour day. It was very organized. Everything was well done. We were prepared for the candidates. I just want to thank you all for that. And I think we had some great top choices, and thanks to you and your team for doing all that work for us. So thank you for your selection.
Councilman Gleason.
I think we had a great selection of people that came in. I'm really looking forward to getting all of them to our acting city clerk and acting city manager. Thank you. And so I hope I can meet up and ask it right.
Councilman Warner.
Thank you, Mayor. I will agree with the consensus of how our interviews went. I think staff, so we did a good job putting it together. I'm not going to go so far as to say they were great candidates. I think they were okay candidates. I think the reason I feel that way is because, as our attorney pointed out, there are no benefits. They're going to have to go out, find them, and work them into the agreement. And as a result of that stipulation, we didn't really attract candidates from real cities that have the experience that I think we need here in Westlake. Nonetheless, I think we will be able to come up with a selection on this round. But I also believe that we need to make some charter amendments so that we can attract candidates from other municipalities. So I look forward to the next few years.
Your opinion is noted. Vice Mayor.
To say, to each of the candidates that we all interviewed, I enjoyed speaking with each of them and learning more about them and what they offer our city. And I agree with our consensus here, the two individuals that we're going to interview next Tuesday, or hear from next Tuesday. And we just thank the staff and rest of the council.
Thank you. I would like to say that I think we had a fine pool of candidates on these, especially on the short list. I think it's extremely impressive. I think they are very. I look forward to working with one of them. Hopefully everything shakes out and things the way, in a positive way. Completely unrelated, have some possible exciting news, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I don't know if you guys remember that I mentioned the drone show for Fourth Fest and not being able to acquire one. The county seems to have way more juice than I do. They may not only have been able to find a drone show to help us celebrate 10th and America's 250th, but they are exploring new ways of paying for sponsorships and so on and so forth. Again, it's all very early, but it is a possibility. So I think that would be cool to celebrate America's 250th and our decennium. That's what it's called. That being said, process in terms of city management great, staff was very organized, and the fact that the super majority of us had the same top two, I was really concerned. It's great that everybody seems to see what I saw. So very great on. Let's go on with staff reports. City attorney, you got anything for us?
Other than the fact that I will be engaged in negotiations, I'll bring you into the contract and be in contact with you all prior to the next.
Sorry. City manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a reminder, next week, March 3rd, the next council meeting. And then regarding tomorrow, there was a scheduled school district community public meeting that was scheduled independent of the city. That was they were going to present plans and answer questions about the new school. I received a verbal update from the school district that this meeting is tentatively rescheduled for March 5th. Once I receive an official notice, I will instruct staff to share that publicly on all my platforms. So tomorrow's meeting, and I say the word independent of the city because I think that a few residents thought it was something that the city was also putting on, and we hadn't really put anything out for it. So we had received official notice. But once we do, I have been in communications with the school district, and once we receive that official public notice for the rescheduled date, we will be sure to share that with the public.
On, if I may, Madam Clerk, on that note, I reached out, after I got your update, I reached out directly to Sean Cooley, who's the External Affairs, PIO, who's the one of my leadership classmate, for the school district. He did confirm the meeting will be March 5th. It is the exact same presentation that we received here in Chambers, but it's for the benefit of the public. It's going to be at Seminole Ridge, and they're fixing some things with the language that it'll probably go out today or tomorrow. So once that goes out, we can
So we will share it with the public.
push it out on the app too, and the public can go to that meeting, hear directly from the source all exciting things from the school. We're welcome to attend.
Someone other person. We are, course of record. I have that on there for this week.
Yeah, read for the record. We have, it's very exciting. City Westlake is participating If you include me, there's 15 volunteers that will be reading here in Westlake at Golden Grove. I'm not sure if it's past the deadline or not yet, but they might want to be able to have more volunteers. I'm not sure. But City of Westlake will be participating. There's 15 people, including myself, signed up.
My wife and I, well,
Did they-
Excellent. I didn't know that. So you're part of 15.
did they-
Excellent.
So I registered, I believe, 5 people. We have 2 from the education ward, Miss Anita and Miss Crystal are going to be participating because the mayor, he dropped off the book, so they have that. So yes, if you want to participate, I can definitely include you as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
No, you're
No.
you're more than welcome to. There's certain time slots. So you have to coordinate with Ms. Kaplan, who's coordinating directly with the principal of the school. I'm doing double duty. I'm gonna go read to my kids' class at VPK and H.L. Johnson in Royal Palm. And then I'm coming here first and then when I'm done with Westlake, I'm shooting over to Royal Palm to read to my son's class. So we're gonna be doing lots of reading. It's a wonderful day for the whole county. I'm excited that Westlake is participating. Any other staff reports? We gave PBSO a pass, so if you want to wait till a regular meeting.
I gave the response time report at the beginning. I don't have anything else.
Okay, very good. On that note, 4:31 PM, I will adjourn.
31 minutes.
Thanks for